Hello, and welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna. Welcome back to Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 days of sketches that Christy puts on. It is 31 with it being October. And today's sketch, each day we have an exclusive sketch. And today's sketch is by Miss Carrie's Creations. I do love her sketches. There's lots of layering in this one. I will have that sketch up in the corner. And I have these two pictures. My husband and I were in Florida. This is breakfast. It looks delicious. And I love really called to me were these, I would call them soft colors. What I did was I immediately thought of, I've got most of my, I should back up, but I have collections and paper pads by themes. And so I do have a kind of a cooking baking theme, but right away I thought red, like, oh, it's all red. Well, if you look at the stuff, there is a lot of red in here. In fact, I probably turned it upside down, or maybe I didn't even pick those papers out. But when I went in there and looked, there is some softer, like this. There's that pinky red, but look at all these other, like this could pull it all together. Oh, I should mention, this is from Cartabella, and it is from, I thought I saw 2012, and I could be making that up because I looked at a lot of paper, but this says Sunflower Market. Ooh, and then I think there's a couple other ones as well. 2012, but that's a different one. I've got a lot of different, anything I saw with baking, this is Basic Gray. I kind of have in a collection, but I think these are the same ones. So these go to this, but I think this is Handmade with Love, Kitchen Floral. Does it have a year? And now I feel like I'm rambling. 2013. So we have a couple different Cartabella papers, and then I think that's gonna match in there. And then just some other random ones. I'm gonna use these for layering. I'm gonna cut these down, and it's gonna be a beautiful page, so let's get scrapping. The first thing I do is trim down the photos. I want them 4x4, and it is pretty easy to see that my 4x4 photos are bigger than what the sketch is. It works out perfectly. You can use whatever size photos you want. You could have used one 4x6. Heck, you could have used two 4x6 in horizontally. So it's nice to be able to use the sketch however you in whatever pictures that you have. I already have an idea of the papers that I want to use, and I think I end up taking those, the polka dots out, because it was a similar kind of design as to the coffee pots. And then I want to use this piece as the biggest piece, because I think, it's got the most going on, or it's the themed one. So I make that the biggest piece. And then just trim it down a bit, knowing that I can go smaller if I need to. So just kind of eyeballing it up. I end up using the teal color to make the banner piece, because that's going to be one of my main colors. And so then I'll trim that up next. Again, I'm just kind of making them about the right size. I'm going to layer them together, and then after I get everything cut out and looking like I want it, then I'll start trimming things down and like doing the fishtail banner and things like that. So I know this is too long, but it's going to stay like that for now. Here is the pink, and that is going to be one of the tags. And it's going to be the tag that goes along the left side. And then the yellow piece just needs to be a short little piece because it's going to be the tag that's on the right side of the other one. And you can see it just tucks behind. So that's just going to be a short little piece. Next, I will trim those long pieces on the right side, and it's using some of the pattern paper that I've already used. So the yellow gets to be a thin strip. That is 1/4 of an inch. And then I believe it's the pink striped one. That's going to be 1/2 an inch. And then I'm going to grab some washi because I have 49 and Market. Oh, I have this little leftover piece of the teal. And so instead of making the tag on the bottom, I'm just going to stick that in there as kind of, I don't know, it could be kind of a banner. I have these Cartabella ephemera, and again, I am staying away from the red ones. I'm also kind of staying away from stuff that says farm to table. That one says fresh brewed. And I'm just trying to keep with the same colors and just things that would be decorative for when you're out for breakfast. Oh, and I didn't tell you about my photos. So when we were in Florida in February, we found, it was like a museum, and we did not go through the museum, but they had just a gorgeous breakfast. And so my husband and I split a cinnamon roll and then this lovely breakfast cake. I don't know what it was. We actually took, and we were there for 3 weeks, and we took my daughters there. They had come down for a long weekend at one point, and we took them there for breakfast as well. But this was just me and my husband. So I grabbed out, I have these acetate leaves from 49 Market, and I thought they matched that teal color of this collection well. And so I just wanted more to go into those clusters, and there is kind of some autumn leaves in Miss Carrie's sketch. So I used some of those to kind of start my cluster. And then I found this pink, it's another kind of banner, on the sticker sheet. So I wanted to use that. And then from the Cartabella ephemera pack, I used the vase of flowers. I cut off the fresh brewed. There's just not that bright green in these papers. And I tried different things. I really wanted to make a bigger kind of cluster there. So I just keep trying different things, and it doesn't get much bigger. It gets a couple more things. But I'm still looking for extra pieces. I do go to my 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet pieces eventually to, and there we go. Some of these yellow pieces are part of that collection. The top piece says Sweet Times, and the circle on the bottom says Special. So then I go to glue down the strips. The bigger one gets the ATG. And then the thinner one gets the glue, because it's harder to get the ATG on those thinner pieces. And this is barely art glue. I just got it, and it's working good so far. This one should be shorter, so after I got it half glued down, I do trim it. And then I'm going to take that 49 and Market washi tape. This one is kind of a green color, and I'm going to use that in place of the stitching there. And it's stitching on the washi. So I have a lot of, I've used this on several layouts, but I have a lot left of the washi tape, so I'm just going to keep using it. So here I trim down that yellow piece of paper, and I'm going to make it into a tag. I cut one side, I hold up the piece, I flip it, and then I cut the other side. And I don't want the other tag exactly the same, so I will do, oh, here's my crocodile that puts a hole in it. That's my secret weapon there. And then I don't want that pink striped tag to be the same size, so I just do the same thing, and I cut one side, I flip it over, that corner over, and I do it on the other side. And they probably end up looking kind of a lot like the same, but I tried to make them different. Then I start just gluing things down, except for this piece needs to be just a little bit shorter. And then I end up using that little piece in one of my clusters. So I'll make this a fishtail banner. This is the way I do it. I kind of trim down in the middle and then go from either corner, so that it should be, again, I'm eyeballing it, but that should be kind of even. So I'll glue that down next. And then I decide, I don't know if it's here, I decide that pink paper has to be shorter. And I do take a lot of time getting these things glued down exactly. So the photos go down next. And I did debate, there is another layer in there. You can see the white around the photos. My photos were big enough, so I left them. I like the way this looks. Just getting everything sized up to make sure it's kind of not on the page where I want it, but just spatially compared with everything else the way I want it. There goes the other tag. And then I think this is where I trim off the pink stripe, because it is a little bit shorter than the fishtail banner. So that's an easy thing to do. And then I get it glued down with the ATG. And then I'm going to work on my other cluster. So this is that piece in the beginning. I was going to scoot it underneath there. I used the Barely Art Glue and it was down. So I just laid it up against the other pieces. And I get the acetate leaf down first. And it's pretty easy to put the glue underneath it to hide it, you know, with something overlapping it. And then this vase is kind of going to go in the middle of it. That sticker, I wanted it to look layered and correct. It gets moved around a little bit, but it ends up over there. And then that special, I moved that a couple times around as well. I moved it over to the side, but I felt like it should overlap. I didn't want it on the right side. I move it up a little bit, and then I do, see, I wasn't happy with that. I do overlap it onto the vase there, and that makes me happy. I put some twine into that loop of this, I'm still going to call it a fishtail banner, the sticker. And then I will also get some twine into the two top tags as well. And they all get the white twine. And I kind of did this out of order, and there's a hole in my packaging, but that's okay. I do get yellow fingers. I should have done this before I stuck everything down, and I should have took more time with it because I really get a big blob there. It's kind of brighter than I would have liked. I think I thought I was going to get it more spread out like these other pieces and not such a big blob. But I don't not like it. I think to do it over again, I would have picked something a little bit lighter, but I think it looks good. Let me know below what you think. It is a little bit bright because those yellows in the tag is definitely lighter, but it definitely needed something, so I'm glad I did it. I glue the acetate leaf on the top, and that starts the cluster up there. And here again, I was like, I kept looking for more, like what more could go up there, but it was rounded on the top, so I took my Creative Memories corner rounder and rounded it on the bottom. I overlapped it onto another piece, so it's got this border, and then from a piece, and there's the yellow. I tried more yellow, that didn't work. But this is just a piece I cut off when I was trimming that big fishtail banner, and so I just stuck that on there. I think it looks good. And it was just something that I was going to probably toss at the end if I didn't use it. I do overlap the banner that says Sweet Things, and so that will be the end of my cluster. I'm just going to put that over the top of those leaves, and I like the way that turns out. Make sure it's all stuck down though. Then I go looking for a title. And I wasn't sure. Oh, no. First I have to put the twine in the top tags. This does take me a little bit. I do struggle with this. I'm not exactly sure. Well, probably because it's late at night. If it's in the morning, I'm a little more fresh and can string my tags a little bit faster. But now you get to watch me struggle with my tags. I figure, it doesn't hurt to show everybody I'm not perfect. And I struggle with tags. Make sure you check out everybody that's playing below. There is a playlist. I have checked out everybody in the past 3 days. It is pretty cool. Very cool to see what everybody else does with these sketches. A lot of good ideas for using the sketches over again. So check out the playlist below. Thank you to Christy who puts this all on. She puts in a lot of work on this. So I appreciate her. I appreciate everybody else that's playing along. I appreciate all my subscribers. Oh, the title is from Simple Stories. I have a lot of these foam stickers, so I like the colors. It doesn't have exactly an orange in this collection, but I think it went, and it says LOL, lots of love, which is perfect for me and my husband having breakfast. And I'll just have to journal a little bit about our breakfast that we had at the museum. Thank you so much for sticking with me till the end. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon for another video.